Hello viewers, this is the Mindful Man, reading another chapter from Paul G. Brett, The Clinic. I was so eager to ask all my questions that I couldn't sit still. I really couldn't. Every time someone walked past our house, I rushed to the window to see if it was him. I knew he was coming from work, and I'd get some pasta and a bolognese sauce out of a jar for us, but he finished so late sometimes, I never knew when he'd get home. It was nearly 9 when he finally appeared. "You salami head," I said. "You could have rung me to say when you were coming. Why didn't you?" "I'm really sorry, Lucy, I really am, but you know how it is. I just forgot the time. I've got so much to do and it was so interesting." "What was? More interesting than me?" "No, of course not, but you've got to understand I have to share you with my work. You wouldn't give up your rumbling cello to be with me 24 hours a day, would you?" "It's not a rumbling cello, it speaks to me in a lovely voice, and it sings, and we have the most wonderful conversations together." "There you are, you see." "See what?" "You think of it as a person." "So?" "Well, if you think a piece of wood and some catgut a wonderful piece, of course, but if a piece of wood can be a person when it isn't, some people can think cells are a person when they're not. It's only a metaphor." "Spaghetti," I said. "Oh, good, I haven't had anything since breakfast and I'm starving." "No, I don't mean food, I mean your mind. What you said was all in a jumble, just like spaghetti." "You're right, I'm sorry, I'm just so tired at the moment. It's all go, go, go. Dad sent me details of another case yesterday. A girl has had a—" "Not now, drink first, then eat, then talk, right? Come on." The pasta would only take 10 minutes and I'd done the salad already. I pushed him into the kitchen, put a can of beer in his hand, and sat him down at the table. It wouldn't be long now before I could ask him everything and tell him what I'd decided. Chapter 6. Rupert. The postman seemed to bring more and more letters every day. Now that I was in harness and beginning to make contact with people all around the diocese, I suppose the clergy thought this was the time to write to me, to establish themselves, to make sure that their names were in my mind as I made appointments and so on. Thursday morning brought a particular bumper bundle of lunacy. Brenda told me that a whole stack of letters had arrived, most of them unnecessarily marked confidential, together with the usual pile of unsolicited mail. The first time I had looked at it all and then asked her to filter it out in future. Why all those suppliers? Thought I was in urgent need of new credit card arrangements, further insurance cover, double glazing, block paving, upmarket outdoor wear, do-it-yourself supplies and various forms of fairly horrid ecclesiastical furniture and fittings. I couldn't imagine. I suggested she buy a large shredder to deal with it all and send the bill to the commissioners. With Brenda sitting primarily on a chair by my desk, a notebook and pencil at the ready, I set to work on the current batch, all helpfully opened, and put in files with any previous correspondence from the same source. The rector of Foxington wanted me to sort out a dispute with his neighbour. He welcomed anyone who came inquiring about christenings, as they called them, including people from the next-door parish, where the vicar refused to baptize any child whose parents did not come to church. Would I arbitrate between them? "They must sort it out themselves," I said. "Tell them to develop a deanery policy, will you?" "Very good, Bishop." The writer of the next letter said he was sure I was extremely busy and would be very much in demand, but would I entertain the idea of coming to preach at his church in a year's time? The people would particularly want to know my views on the ordination of women. Is my diary free on the date he wants? Brenda looked hurriedly and nodded. "Say yes, then." "Very good, Bishop, but you may not enjoy that church. It's very high." Oh dear. This is the end of chapter. Please sub me if you enjoyed it. I'll be reading more soon.